Hello beautiful Pisces, welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane and today is another reading day, of course, and the card that had come out was the throat chakra. This is a card of your past, and no surprise, I mean, honestly, a lot of us through our life on this, our journey on this planet, have had our throat chakras constricted, and also a lot of us have found release in finally finding our voice again, which is all what the blue throat chakra is about. So we're going to be talking about that today and how that's affecting your present journey today, okay, as of, I guess, where you're going with it. The throat chakra. So, I brought a drink today because when I speak to people whose throat chakras are constricted or blocked, it can be such an uncomfortable feeling. How do I describe it to you? They wanted me to describe the constriction of the throat chakra. It's getting that pain in your neck, in your throat. You know, when you're cry too much and you get that lump and that constant, like trying to swallow but nothing's going down. These are all symptoms of having a blocked throat chakra. You have anxiety and stress around the throat, and it constricts and causes discomfort and pain. And it's in the area of communication, sound, creativity, and even the ability of inner hearing. I work a lot. My ears ring and block and all of that stuff. I've never had to have my ears cleaned so much since I started doing spiritual work. I used to have problems with wax as a child, and it's not as much wax. There's a lot of stuff in my ears since I've been doing this. Every year I have to get my ears cleaned out. It's more than I've ever done in my life. So the ears and throat, they're connected. So clairaudience, you're knowing, clear hearing, inner hearing. This is a part of artists that you need: speakers, writers, singers, people who are involved like in creative arts. They'll have active throat chakras. It doesn't mean that they don't suffer blockages though. So we're really going to be looking at this, okay, and how this is affecting you. Okay, so I'm going to take from the Power to Surrender cards. They were calling to me because to surrender something that will help with your throat chakra. Now, it could be in different areas, and it just, what I'm hearing from them is that you may be restricted in certain things. But even if it's not from your throat chakra, it can affect the throat chakra. In other words, if your heart, if you have something in your heart that's from your heart chakra, a love that you can't express, you usually do it through your throat, you will express it to somebody. So that is an example of how that it can affect your throat chakra. And as if you can tell, I'm actually starting to have problems, and I knew this was going to happen, so I wasn't too much looking forward to today, I have to tell you, because it's things of the past, but we're going to see. Surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Look at that. Okay. So, some of you may have been not communicating your passion. Okay. Your creativity, as they say. Let me see what else I can get here, Pisces. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and to not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Okay, I'm going to take this as if you're talking and saying nothing. I'm hearing trying to convince people of who you are and what you want here. The non-action is telling you that sometimes just backing off and letting it be. Look at this blue-green color, okay? You're very passionate about something that you want to do. Now is not the time to try to convince people of it. You're just going to waste your energy, waste of the throat chakra. Maybe in your life you've had to find your voice and have to tell people what you wanted to do and how you wanted to create things and your passions, only to be like dismissed, or, you know, when people don't acknowledge you or your voice. So this time it's telling you, surrender to your passion, focus on that, and surrender to non-action. And I'll say it non-voice. It's more non-voice than non-action. In other words, don't waste your breath or your time explaining to other people what you believe in. You don't need their acceptance. There you go. You don't need their acceptance to your life or what you believe in. You don't need that at all. All you need is to take the time and really delve into what you believe in, okay? Open yourself up to discovery. Be your own muse. You don't need to have anybody, because it's Call of the Muse as well, okay? And it says your voice deserves to be heard, but your voice deserves to be heard for you, not for anybody else, okay? Free the voice of your inner self. Free the voice of you to you. You don't need to convince anybody of anything anymore, Pisces, okay? Now some of you are opening businesses. You're probably telling me, well, I need to convince them to, you know, be in my business. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the promotions or the ads running, just to be completely clear, because sometimes you have to do that. I'm talking about the people around you, the people that you are probably inadvertently looking for acceptance from. Could be peers, could be parents, could be friends, could be, I'm hearing cousins here, uncles, aunts, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, because I'm talking to a vast audience here. So, yeah. All right, let's get some tarot here. Let's get a little more on this. I want more on surrender to passion. Yeah. This is a lot about your head getting in line with your fire. Not so much restricting you in the ways you're doing stuff, okay? Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So not on the people you're trying to convince, the people who are already convinced, the people who believe in you regardless. I mentioned this. I just lost a friend, Catherine, just this year. When I met her, I had written a book, non-published it, but I told her I want to be an author. And this lady, who I barely knew, looked at me and she says, you don't want to be an author, you already are. These are the people you want in your life, who will tell you the truth instead of the lies that you keep repeating to yourself. They will clarify the truth for you, okay? So you need people to uplift you, not the people that you need to convince, the people who already know, okay? So this will help your throat chakra, because then who you're speaking to, you won't have to convince of anything. They already know how powerful you are. So you can just take the time to speak your truth instead of trying to convince people of your truth. Okay? Right. So, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? The Two of Swords. Not trusting yourself because you don't have all the facts. It's almost like putting yourself in the dark and putting a defense up, okay? Always trying to convince somebody. You're like, you put these swords in front of you and you're going, no, 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 I know what I want, I know what I want. You're almost like putting yourself in a shell of going, I don't need to convince anybody. But by saying I don't need to convince anybody, you're putting that intention out there saying, I need to convince somebody. Instead of saying, I'm sitting in my truth, you're saying, I don't need to convince you. I'm protecting myself. Okay? Stay away from me. I'm going to delay this because I want you. I don't need to defend myself. I don't need to defend yourself. Take the defend yourself out of it. You don't need to at all. You need to speak your truth. You don't need to defend it. Okay? All right. More about this passion and the people, please. Right. You change it from that 2 to this 2. Okay? Instead, use your energy better to contemplate and think innovatively of how you're going to move forward. Okay, what the next step will be, how much progress you've made, and what discoveries you can do. The word discovery is coming in again. And it had already come opening up to discovery, okay, in the oracle card. So this is the discovery card. This discovering the big world in front of you, okay? Seeing the lay of the land. And fill yourself with creative forces. That's going to unblock your throat chakra, okay? The world is at your command, yours. You don't need to convince anybody with your voice that it is. You just need to do it, okay? Sometimes it's taking the throat chakra right out of it. When you stop trying to force something out from there, you don't, the vocal cords don't get hurt or distended. I feel like that knot is from talking too much, from screaming too much, from just too much. I don't do any of that, Pisces, here. I don't talk too much at all. But as I said, it'd be an interesting channel if I didn't, wouldn't it? Okay, so Spirit Guide card, absolutely. Wonderful card to have. Always here to remind you, Pisces, that, well, you've been guided. The only people that you need to have a conversation with is really a silent one, as I'm hearing, because honestly, if you're talking to your spirit guides, you don't need to be talking at all. You're talking from the soul, you're talking from the chakras, you're talking from the personal alignment. That's the only conversation you really need to have, okay? What you get to hear, it comes in as energetic vibration. It has, and that vibration is always pure, and that pure blue light of communication with them, that's the communication you need. That's the chakra you need to open up in that form, not the one that makes noise, like the one that's making noise to you right now, okay? Yeah, surrender to non-action. I feel a lot of quietness. The thing is that she is, like, doesn't see. He's got his back turned. So does he. I feel that they're looking beyond, okay? You're not facing anybody with your throat chakra in their face trying to convince them of anything. In these cards, you're just contemplating and then you're taking action. But it's the non-action. The back that is turned is the non-action part of this, okay? All I hear from them is you need to be simply, okay? There's no convincing. There's no trying to get somebody to understand your point of view. It's not needed. It's not required. The focus card from yesterday is also coming through here. As in, just focus on what you need to be doing only. That's it. That's all you need to do. You need to focus. That's it. Okay. I hadn't used this deck in a while. I wanted to use it. It's the, what is it? Radiant Wise Smith from Los Caribbean. I never know how to say the name. It flipped. It flipped and then went back into the deck. I saw it and then it did a turn and went back into the deck. Again, this figure is turned, the back is turned. I feel a real sadness with this card. I feel like these are ideas. These are things that were shut down by the people you were trying to convince. And I feel in some ways you turned your back on yourself, Pisces, with these 2 cups remaining. You missed out, you're missing out on the point that your voice is still very much your own. That you have success right here and there's no need to convince anybody of anything. All you really need is to turn around and make your way to your own destiny. Okay? Again, the back is turned. And the one that the back is in front of us, she's blindfolded. Okay? It's time to take the lead. The King of Wands came out. What is it saying right here? Yeah, it's saying it's time to take the lead. You're not even looking and you're still not looking this way. These cards are not facing us. They're looking away. Even this one, she's looking away. But do notice that she does have a unicorn horn on her head. Okay? So in other words, you're magical. You don't need anybody's permission for anything, Pisces. You really don't. Okay? It's time to take your power back with the King of Wands. You need to lead your own life. You don't need to convince anybody else to lead your life. That's the biggest message right here. You don't need to sit there and talk till you're blue in the face. I love that. Don't give away your chakra power to anybody. You are dynamic. You're authentic. Your experiences are your own. Your energy is your own. Okay? You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You just need to take the lead. Take your lust, your passion for life, your fire energy that's showing up in both these cards with this beautiful purple, and lead it out, Pisces. That's all you need to do. You need to lead it out for yourself. Okay? There again, introspection with the moon. That's going within. Okay? That's going to the subconscious, the dream state. This is very introspection. It's very Pisces. I feel a quietness. It's funny to say this because it's a throat chakra, but I feel more of a quiet certainty. The confidence you have needs to come from inside of you. You no longer need to ever convince anybody of anything, Pisces, ever. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to take from the healing mantra here. It It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I still feel my voice crackling a little bit, but I am not in pain. So I feel like they're trying to make me have a little laryngitis, but not, you know, when you're you start having that, you know, I need something to drink. You can hear it. I'm sure you can. But it doesn't hurt. So it's more like saying, just for now, let it be. Be quiet. Be quiet within yourself. I hope they let me finish this reading. I hope so. If not, I'll start whispering, Pisces. I think they're just saying don't force anything at this point. Encountering conflict. I don't choose sides. I take a stand. I love this.